In this video, we will discuss how a company should determine its sales mix when resources are constrained. Let's suppose that Ellison Enterprises produces headphones and speakers. Currently, there is a production capacity of 20,000 machine hours. The market demand for headphones is 15,000 units and 20,000 for speakers. This means that Ellison Enterprises can sell up to 15,000 pairs of headphones and 20,000 sets of speakers. Each pair of headphones requires 1 machine hour to produce. Each set of speakers requires 2 machine hours. The headphones sell for $115 each, and the speakers sell for $150 each. The variable costs are $75 per unit for the headphones and $90 per unit for the speakers. We want to know what the optimal sales mix is for the company, meaning how many pairs of headphones and sets of speakers should the company produce. We can begin by calculating the contribution margin per unit, which is the sales price per unit minus the variable cost per unit. $115 minus $75 for headphones equals $40, and $150 minus $90 is $60 for speakers. Remember that the contribution margin per unit is the amount from each unit sold that contributes to increasing net income. But since the company has a constrained resource, machine hours, they would like to somehow tie up the contribution margin with machine hours so that each machine hour can be optimized to produce the most profit possible. The way we do that is by calculating a contribution margin per unit of the constrained resource, in this case per machine hour. We can do this by taking the contribution margin per unit and dividing by the number of machine hours required to create a unit. In the case of headphones, we have the $40 contribution margin per unit divided by the 1 machine hour required to create a pair of headphones, which equals $40 of contribution margin per machine hour used creating headphones. As for speakers, we take the $60 contribution margin per unit and divide by the 2 machine hours required to create a set of speakers. This gives us $30 of contribution margin per machine hour when used to produce speakers. Notice the result we have here. In terms of machine hours, headphones are actually more profitable than speakers. $40 per machine hour versus $30 per machine hour with the speakers, even though the contribution margin per unit on its own suggests that speakers are more profitable. Only $40 per pair of headphones compared to $60 per set of speakers. This means the company should prioritize making as many pairs of headphones as possible until they either run out of machine hours or meet the market demand. Only once they have sold all the headphones that the market will buy should they begin selling speakers. So now we revisit our task of determining the optimal sales mix. Looking to the market demand, we see that customers are willing to buy 15,000 pairs of headphones. Do we have enough machine hours to produce the 15,000 headphones? Yes, we do. Each pair of headphones only requires 1 machine hour, so it will take 15,000 machine hours to meet the market demand. Once 15,000 machine hours are used to produce headphones, we will still have 5,000 left to produce speakers. Each speaker requires 2 machine hours, so 5,000 divided by 2 equals 2,500 speakers that can be produced with the remaining machine hours. We can find the total contribution margin by multiplying the number of units sold for each product by the contribution margin per unit. So we have 15,000 times $40 for headphones, which equals $600,000, and 2,500 multiplied by $60, which equals $150,000 for speakers. Alright, that wraps up our example relating to determining the sales mix when resources are constrained. One final thing to note is that oftentimes the best long-term solution when there is a constrained resource is to simply expand capacity. If this company just had more machines and therefore more machine hours to use, it could produce more speakers and therefore make more profit. But in the short term, they may have to settle for a sales mix like we've determined here, where some of the market demand is left unmet.